up, my Birds of the Planet Army? I'm Super Spud, and I've just found something on Creepypasta Wiki. I have found the Squidward suicide story. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. This is a bad story, but and you guys may have heard about it, and I've heard about it too, and I just want to post it on my channel. I just want to start off saying, if you want an answer at the end, prepare to be disappointed. There just isn't one. I was an intern at Nickelodeon Studios for a year in 2005 for my degree in animation. It wasn't paid, of course. Most internship isn't, but it did have some peaks beyond education to adults. It may not seem like a big one, but most kids at the time would go crazy over it. Now, since I worked directly with the editors and animators, I got the view of the new episodes days before they arrived. I'll get right it without giving too many unused details. They have recently made a SpongeBob movie in the entire steps of Congress, so they took them longer to start up the season, but delay lasts longer of more upsetting reasons. There was problems with the series' full premiere that set everyone and everything back for several months. Me and two interns were in an editing room along with the lead animators. Okay, so hold on guys, I'll pause the story. Animators! What does this have to do with Squidward's suicide? I'll get onto it now, and I'll be able to tell you guys if this sounds scary or not scary. And sounds of editors for the final cut were received a copy of what's supposed to be the fear of the Krabby Patty and gathered around the screen to work. Now, given that isn't final, the animators often put a mark, a little card. Hold on. What does this say? A title card, sort of the insert joke for us, with pointy sometimes, led towards such as how sex doesn't work, instead of walk by belief. When SpongeBob and Patrick she sculpt nothing particular funny, but the related chuckles. So when we saw the title card, Squidward Suicide, we didn't think it was more but a mumbled joke. One of the interns did a small short laugh at it. The happy-go-lucky music plays as it normally. The story begins with Squidward practicing his clarinet, hitting his folk sore notes like normal. We hear SpongeBob laughing outside, and Squidward stops yelling at him to keep it down, and he has a concert that night and needs to practice. SpongeBob says okay, and we're going to Sandy's with Patrick. The bubble splash screen comes up, and we see the ending of Squidward's content. That is when things begin to seem off. While playing, a few frames repeat themselves, but doesn't seem that point. Sounds with that animated so that no comment, but he stopped playing. The sound finishes. I've skipped. Never happened. There's slight murmuring in the crowd before. They are beginning to boo him. Not normal cartoon booing. That is common in the South, but you could very clearly Masley and Squidward's in his full frame and look visibly afraid. The shot goes in the crowd with SpongeBob in cellar frame, and he too hair is furry, very much unlike him. That isn't, hold on, the oddest thing, though. What is odd is everyone had high realistic eyes, very detailed, clearly not sorts of real people eyes, but something a bit more real than CGI. The the pupils were red. Some of us looked at each of obviously confused, but since we weren't the writers, we didn't question the appeal to the children yet. Hold on, guys. The shot goes to Squidward sitting on the edge of his bed, looking very forlorn. The view of the porthole window is of a night sky, so it isn't very long after the contract unseals part of his point. There's no turn of thought starts slowly, then working perfectly. He just sat there blinking in silence for about 30 seconds. Then he sat there. Then he started to sob softly. He put his tentacles over his eyes and cried quietly for a full minute. More than at the whole sound of the background slowly groaned. Nothing at all. It sounds like silent breathing in the forest. The screen slowly begins to zoom in on his face. By slowly, I mean it's... Hold on guys, because noticeable. If you look at sword 10 seconds apart, side by side, his sobbing gets louder, more full of hurt and anger. The scream then twitches, getting slowly louder, and several more of storm brewing somewhere. The other part is that the sound of Squidward sobbing sounds real, as if the sound wasn't coming from the speakers, but the speakers were always the sound coming through the other side as good as sounds. The studios like how they don't purchase the equipment to be that good to produce sounds that quality. The later sounds of the wind sobbing, very faint, something sounded like laughing. It came at odd intervals and never lasted more than a second. So if you had time penning it, we've watched this show twice, so pardon. So the screen blurred, something finished over the screen, and a single frame was replaced. The lead animator edited pause and rewound the frame. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to... This is... Below the sound summary, single frame was placed. The lead animator edited the pause and rewound the frame. We saw what was horrible. It was a still photo of a dead child. He had been more than 6 stats The faces was mingled, and blood on one eye. Over the open face, pouring he knelt down to his underwear, and as his stomach crowdedly cut open, and his laying beside him. He was laying on some pavement that was probably a road. The most upsetting part was that a shadow of the photograph. That was no crime tape, no evidence tags or markers, and the angle was completely off for a shot designed to be evidence. It would seem the photograph person the child's death. We were but proceeded on, hoping then it was just a sick joke. The screen flipped. Screen flicked back to Squidward still sobbing louder than before, and half body in frame. There was now what appeared to be blood running down his face from his eyes. The blood was also done in hyper-realistic style, looking as if touched it'll get blood on your fingers. It sounded now as that gale blowing through the forest. There were even snapping sounds of branches. The laughs are deeper, beyond lasting at longer intervals and coming more frequently. After 20 seconds, the screen again twisted. The editor reasoned to go back, but we had no idea. This time, the photo was of what appeared to be a little girl, no older than the first child. She was laying on her stomach. Her buttholes in the pool were peeled on top of her, above another could cut along her back again. The body was on the street, and the photographer's shadow was visible, very similar to the size and the shape to be the first. I had shrunk back from it, and one in turn the female in the room ran out of the show resumed. About 5 seconds after the second photo played, Squidward went silent, as did all sounds. Like when this, since he put his tentacles down, his eyes were now done in hyper-realism. Like the others in the beginning of the episode, there were bleeding blood shots and pulsing. He just stared in the screen as if he was watching the viewer. After about 10 seconds, he started sobbing, this time not covering his eyes. The sound was pulsing and loud, and most including of all his sobbing mixed with screams. Tears and blood were dropping down his face at heavy weight. The wind sound came back, and did so the steep voice laughed. And this time, still footage lasted a good 5 seconds. This is so weird. I've never seen anything so brutal. The animators was labeled stop. It's on the fourth and blocked up. This is the photo of a boy about the same age of the screen. Different intels were just being pulled out from the stomach. Would be by believe the next one. Different can tell. Okay guys, I just want to say this story is really brutal. Brutal as barnacles actually. I'll continue the story, guys, but this time from a different place. You know what? I'll just continue. You know what, guys? I guess that's going to be it. I don't want to play all the video because that would take me way too long. But I hope you guys enjoyed watching the video. Super Bros Bros. Bye. Wait. Super Bros Bros. Bye.